It is 5th century CE. Nalanda University is buzzing. Thousands of students from China, Persia, and Greece have gathered to learn. Mathematicians are scribbling equations that will one day shape computers. Astronomers are mapping the stars with frightening accuracy. In streets, gold coins are used as currencies, and in royal courts, poets like Kalidasa are dropping verses that will make Shakespeare look like a kid. Yes, this was the golden age of India, the age led by the Gupta Empire. But, like all the golden ages, it did not last. In the 6th century CE, one of the brightest flames in the Indian history flickered out. But wait, we are not here to talk about the flickered out history. We are here to talk about what if the Gupta Empire had survived, where Patliputra never fell into the ruins but became the beating heart of superpower, where Sanskrit is the language of science, where the first man to land on moon is not Neil Armstrong but Neil Gupta. Well, buckle up, as we are going on a wild ride where we rewrite the past and rethink the future. Well, to think of alternate history, we must first understand the actual history. The Gupta Empire, founded around 320 CE by Chandragupta. And let me be clear with this, we are not talking about Chandragupta Maurya, we are talking about Chandragupta I. Most people get confused here because Chandragupta and Chandragupta, both names are too similar. Chandragupta Maurya founded the Maurya Empire, Chandragupta I founded the Gupta Empire. So, we are clear on this? Then we hand over the throne to Samudragupta, a conqueror so fierce that he was called the Napoleon of India. I think the historians were drinking some cheap liquor when they wrote that Samudragupta should be called as Napoleon of India, because where I come from, I think Napoleon should be called as Samudragupta of France. Okay, enough of this. The things truly changed when Chandragupta II was crowned as the king of Gupta Empire, because he turned the empire into a cultural supernova. And thus, this was called the golden age of India. And I will tell you why this was called so. Because in this period, Aryabhatta gave us the concept of zero and explained that the earth rotates on its axis. Calculation of ellipses, orbits, and planetary motions were centuries ahead of Europe. Kalidasa wrote plays and poetries that rival Shakespeare, except they were written thousands of years ago. Coins of gold and silver were used as currencies. Trade routes stretched from Mediterranean to Southeast Asia. And don't even get me started with education. Nalanda University provided one of the best education there is and attracted scholars from across Asia. It was a confident, wealthy, and knowledge-driven empire. But by the 6th century, Hun invasion started. And let me tell you, the Hun invasion is not a classical invasion where we have large armies standing in front of border to conquer the nation. The Huns were the group of nomadic type riders who looted the cities. They attacked from northwest, crossing through today's Afghanistan and Punjab. These invasions weren't just quick raids, they kept coming like waves. Cities were looted, trade routes were disrupted, and villagers were burned. Skandagupta, the last emperor, fought bravely, but every battle drained the empire's blood and gold. And while he was fighting at front, back home, provinces began slipping away. Governors who were once loyal now declared themselves independent. The empire cracked from both outside and inside. And by the 6th century, the golden bird was gone. But wait, we are not here to talk about this. We are here to talk about a fascinating alternate history. So, let's twist the timeline right here. So, in this alternate reality, one change will change entire history. Instead of crumbling under pressure, the Guptas reform. Skandagupta, the last great Gupta ruler, reorganizes the empire. A professional standing army is built. Border defenses are fortified, halting the Hun invasion. Provisions are given autonomy, but tied tightly to the crown, like an ancient federal system. And most importantly, the Guptas learn from their neighbors. Instead of isolation, they absorb knowledge from Persians, Greeks, and Chinese. The Gupta flame never dies, and it burns even more brighter. So, now let's get to the fun part. To understand this alternate history, we will divide them in 4 acts. Act 1. A Gupta India, the subcontinent transformed. With the empire intact, India never splits into countless kingdoms. The subcontinent stays united under one banner, the Guptas. Patliputra grew into the mega city of Asia, a political and a cultural hub. Sanskrit becomes the international language of scholarship, like Latin in Europe. Instead of invasions carving India into pieces, the Gupta repel foreign threats and dictate terms of trade. Imagine an India where there was no British Raj, no Mughal rule, and only Gupta Empire, naming India as Bharat. Act 2. The economic impact. Now, let's talk money. The British drained India's wealth, but what if they were crushed even before they thought of it? And what happens because of this? Gupta trade dominates Indian Ocean. Ports like Ujjain and Buraj becomes global commercial hubs. Textile hubs like Varanasi and Surat remains giants, never crushed by British imports. Gupta coinage evolves into early banking system. Merchant issues letters of credit. Proto-national bank emerges. And by 1500s, while Europe is still experimenting with merchantism, Gupta India is running an advanced financial system. Industrialization first happens in India. Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai don't grow as colonial ports. They flourish as Indian-built cities of trade and industry. Act 3. Science without limits. This is where the Guptas shine brightest. The golden age of science never breaks out. It compounds generations after generations. By 1000 CE, Gupta scholars build advanced mechanical devices, water clocks and astronomical observatories. By 1400s, Indian innovators experiment with steam-driven machines. By 1600s, Gupta engineers design ships that sail to Africa and beyond. Maybe they even stumble upon Americas. By 1800s, while Europe is still in industrial revolution, Gupta India already have a printing press, telegraphs and railways. By 1900s, instead of Wright brothers, it's Vishnu Sharma testing the first aeroplane over the Gangas. And the space race. Forget about US and USSR. The first man to land on moon is Neil Gupta, planting the Gupta flag on lunar soil. Act 4. Culture, People and Future. Culturally, the differences is staggering. No Macless minute. That means Indian languages dominate the education. English exists, but as the second language, not the first. Instead of imitating the West, the world imitates us. Sanskrit theatres, Gupta epics, and Indian philosophy inspire global culture. Bollywood doesn't chase Hollywood. It becomes the Hollywood of the world. Forget pizza and burger. The world is obsessed over samosas, dosas and gulab jamuns. There is no McDonald's, there is no Domino's, there is no Pizza Hut, and there is no KFCs. And what hurts even more is there is no cricket. Because the cricket was introduced to India by Britishers. If there are no Britishers, then there is no cricket. But we had a sport that is called Kabaddi. Imagine billions of people watching World Kabaddi Cup. And there is no partition in 1947, no India-Pakistan divide. A united subcontinent moves into modernity together. So, what if Gupta Empire never fell? We might have had an India that didn't need to be raised because it never collapsed. A world where Sanskrit was global, where India led science, where the golden age never ended. But unfortunately, that's the story we didn't get. Still, the Gupta reminds us of something important. Greatness is possible when knowledge, tolerance and ambition come together. And maybe, just maybe, that's not just history. That could still be our future. Until then, take care of your health. Because, as Luffy said, as long as you are alive, there are infinite possibilities.